Alright, I want to show you how to set up a course from scratch. So this is the first time that you've ever done it, so there's a bunch of little settings that you have to get set up. So once you log into Canvas, we're going to go ahead and choose a course that you've never set up before, and you're not importing anything. So I'll go ahead and click on that. It's going very slow. And once I'm in here, so if I do want to bring in stuff from a previous court, I can go ahead and do that. And if you notice there's a create a new module, we'll look at that in a little bit here. And you have down here, I'm going to scroll down, a settings button. So this is kind of like your sub menu here. So I go ahead and click on settings. And the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to change the name of your course. So if you notice right here, it says name, wheel, 6, and it's got all this extra data. And this is what the kids see as well. So we don't necessarily want to have all that extra data. And so this is my Technology 6 wheel, and so I'm just going to go ahead and call it Tech 6. As I go down here, this course code, you don't need to really worry about that. As I'm scrolling down here, you don't have to worry about any of these things because it's already set up for you. But you do have to put the start and the end dates in there. So in this case, we're going to do our first start date was August 28th. And we're going to go ahead and end on January 19th. And again, if you're watching this video at a later time, you may have different dates that you'll need to put in there. So as I scroll down here, there's a couple of things that we need to do. Where it says enable grading scheme, we have to grab the grading scheme that our school uses. I go ahead and click on enable grading scheme, and I'm going to go ahead and click on set grading scheme. And if you notice, there is a default scheme right here, and this is not what we want to use. We want to go ahead and click select another scheme. And it's going to load stuff from our school. So we have two of them. We have the SMS A through F scale, and then we also have the pass-fail. So if this is like a literacy class or it's a pass-fail class, that's one you would choose. But if not, this is the scale that we're going to do. I go ahead and click on it, and I'm going to say use this grading standard. And you can see our grading scale there, and we hit done. We don't have A pluses or A minuses. And I am done with that section right there. As I scroll down here, there's nothing else that we really need to look at right now. And I'm going to go up to the very top. And so I have course details, sections, navigation, and feature options. We're going to go ahead and click on feature options, and there's two things that you may want to use here. First one is this grade book, list students by sortable name. Right now, when you look at all your kids in your class, they are listed by first name and then last name, which is very hard for me, at least, to grade and to find kids. And so I like to actually put them as last name, comma, first name. And so I go ahead and turn that on. The second one is enable a dashboard image for courses. So if you might have seen in the beginning, I had some images on my course. I like to add that. It adds a little flair to your class. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. I go ahead and click that, and I'm going to go ahead and go back to course detail. Now, I need to actually refresh the page here because I changed a setting. I hit refresh. And if you notice, right here is a place where I can have a course image. I'm going to go ahead and click choose image. And I can search for Flickr. And say it's a science class. I can type in science. And I can actually find any science image that I like here. So you can also add GIFs if you like. And I'm going to go ahead and choose this one. And there we go. Now, if I click my dashboard here, actually, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. Sorry. And I'm going to update my course details. And I'm going to go ahead and go back to my dashboard. And when you go back to my dashboard, you'll actually see that, well, here's that class there. I forgot to change the name there, so I need to go back and do that. So I'm going to click that. Actually, what I didn't do is I don't think I hit save the first time. And so I'm going to go ahead and double click all this. I'm going to go ahead and call that Tech 6. And yes, you do need to save. And I didn't save my dates as well. Darn it all anyways. And that was the 28th. And lesson learned, young Padawan. And I'll choose January 19th. And now I can go ahead and go back down and update the course details. If you don't do that, it won't save it. And it looked like it saved my course grading schemes as well. So now when I go ahead and click my dashboard again, I should see it. It should just be called Tech 6 now, and it has all my settings in there. Okay, the next step that you need to do is you need to set up your page. And this is so when the kid logs in, they'll actually see whatever's on this page here. And we want to choose our home page, and we want to actually choose course modules. And this way that kids will actually see your modules. And we'll talk about how to design those in a minute here. And I click save. And now once again, when I click home, they will actually see the course module page. Now, I haven't actually created a course module yet, so I'm going to actually, I'm actually going to go ahead and create a new course module here. So now if this is my science class, this is like your file folder or your sections that you teach. So maybe I'm teaching the rock cycle. I can actually go ahead and type in rock cycle, and I click add module. Now, you can always get to your modules by clicking on this button right here. But if you notice, here's my unit, rock cycle, and it depends on what you teach, how you want to do this. It may be Unit 1, Unit 2, Unit 3. Now, to add an assignment, here's how I do that. I go over here and I click this little plus button. When I click the plus button, I can actually add different things. And so sometimes I have a content page, things that I want the kids to read instead. Sometimes it's an assignment or a quiz. I will actually even make content pages for me specifically if I want to remember what I taught. So for example, in my maker class, I write down all the things and the videos that I use. And the kids don't necessarily see that, but it's more for me. So in the next time I teach it, I have it there. I can go ahead and click on assignment. And then at this point, I can go ahead and click on New Assignment, and I say Add Item. Oh, I want to give it an assignment name. So we're going to say Lesson 1. I click Add Item, and now I have Lesson 1 here, and it's not turned on yet, but I will turn it on in a moment here. Now, I've just put in the actual lesson name here. I haven't actually put in any content. So I can go ahead and click on Lesson 1. And at this point, it's going to look just like kind of like a word processing program. I want to actually edit my lesson. And now I can actually go through the whole process. So if you notice, I have almost like my little Word document stuff. I can center it. I can type in lesson 1. I can actually make it a little bit bigger if I want to. I always like to put an image in mine, so you can actually import images. I can also import YouTube content. So a lot of the classes I teach, I actually record a video of myself teaching, so those kids who miss my class can actually watch me teach. And so it's a great feature to use there. I can put all my content in here. I can put my point assignment values in here. So say it's a 10-point assignment, and you can actually weight stuff as well. I don't have any of that stuff set up, but there are videos to show you how to do that. Your submission types, you can go ahead and do online, on paper, or external tools. I do almost everything solely online, so I would choose something like online, and maybe it is a file upload from Google Drive. And once I'm done, I can put in a due date if I'd like to, and then I can go ahead and click Save. Now, if I want the kids to see it automatically, I can click Save and Publish, but right now I don't want the kids to see that. I click Save, and now I am back to this little area here. And I can go ahead and click Home again. And since you set your course homepage to modules, you're going to see that module right there every time you load it. Now, when you're ready to actually publish it, and you didn't publish it beforehand, you can actually click this little button here and click Publish. As soon as I click that, the kids can see it and they can access it. Now, say I want to create another lesson, I just hit the plus button here. If I want to create a new module, so say I want to do something on the water cycle, and then I click Add Module, and then I can go from there. Now, if you notice one thing here, that the kids, until you actually publish this module, the kids actually won't see it here. So this is, even though this lesson is published, the kids won't see it because your module is not published. So I can turn on this module, and now whoever's in my course can actually see this. What's really nice about this feature is when you're done, if you don't want kids to submit things anymore, you can always turn that off so they don't have access to it. And again, with this water cycle, it's not turned on yet, but you can go ahead and put in all your course content. I'm going to go ahead and show you an example of what my courses look like here. So here's my digital production class. And it's a setup from the year before. So I start with camera basics, and so these are all the modules. They are turned on right now, and so I'm going to turn them off because I don't want the kids to see them right now. I imported this from a different course. And now when I actually click this, you can actually see all the assignments here. And if you also notice that all my assignments are published, and I want to make sure that I unpublish those. So there's that. And so this is basically a 12-week course, and it's ready for them to go. Once you are done, actually, Once you're done, you want to actually make sure that the kids can actually see this. And before they can see it, oh, actually, I'm in the wrong course here. I'm going to go ahead and go back, and I'm going to go into this Tech 6 course that we are developing. If you notice it says unpublished and published, you want to click the publish button so that everybody can access it. And again, this basically turns on your assignments on and off. So until you're ready to have the kids actually access that assignment, you can actually go ahead and turn those things off. That is it in a nutshell, the things that you need to do to get your course set up.